Question: do you need to pay a lot of money to get a good pair of running shoes? The answer is no. So today I'm taking a look at two pairs of running shoes that I have been running in recently and really enjoying. The link that these two shoes share in common that align to the question at the top of the video is that they're both cheap. They both were purchased by myself for under 100 Australian dollars, and those two shoes are the Skechers Go Run Razor 3 and the Reebok Float Ride Energy 3. The Energy 3 are a current Reebok model running shoe, but they're often found discounted and in or around that $100 mark. I know a couple of weeks ago these were going for about 75 bucks, and I think currently they're on the website for about 105 bucks. They are both different types of running shoes that would be better suited for different type of activities, but I guess the point that I'm trying to make with this video is that you can access excellent running shoes with really good running dynamics depending on what sort of running shoe you're after at $100 or less. You don't need to go for the latest and greatest or the latest model anything to really be able to enjoy your running shoe. Let's take a closer look at the Razor 3, and with the Razor 3 we are getting a lightweight neutral running shoe with a ripstop mesh upper sitting on top of a hyperburst midsole. 24mm of stack in the heel, 20mm of stack in the forefoot, giving us a 4mm drop, and it fits true to size. It comes in at 6.4 ounces or 181 grams for a US men's size 9, and if you're interested in my US men's 13, this comes in at 8 ounces or 229 grams, which is really light for a lot of shoe. The highlight for me in the Razor 3 has to be the midsole. It uses the same nitrogen infused foam technology that we've seen in Puma's latest running shoes, their Nitro range, and in Brooks's higher end Hyperion running shoes that use the DNA Flash midsole. This midsole is not ultra soft, but it is well cushioned and responsive. When you pair that with its low to the ground nature, you really get a sense that this shoe is built for speed, and when you lace up, you feel like you do actually want to go fast. Surprisingly, the upper is really comfortable. I say surprisingly just because of the low weight. The ripstop mesh upper is actually really breathable and comfortable on foot, and the overlays and molded heel counter along with some of the padding around the heel, it's just enough to give your foot the sense of structure without being overdone. Having only put in a little under 20 Ks in this running shoe, I can't really assess durability, but on feel, I don't think it would be the most durable running shoe. I think it's fine though, because it's not the sort of shoe that I would wear every day, like I just said before. And so it's something that I think would be a perfect companion shoe as part of your rotation if you've got a lot of max cushion or daily training running shoes. This will give you access to a type of training that'll be so much more fun in this sort of package. Onto the Reebok Float Ride Energy 3, and this shoe has to be one of my favorites of the year. This guy is a neutral road running shoe with a square knit upper sitting on top of Reebok's Float Ride Energy foam. It's got a 26mm stack on the heel, 17mm on the forefoot, giving us a 9mm drop. It fits true to size, and it comes in at 8.5 ounces or 241 grams for a US men's size 9. If you're interested, my US men's 13 comes in at 314 grams or 11 ounces. It blows my mind that this shoe retails at $150 here in Australia and can be found for around $100 or less most of the time. The shoe is so versatile that it can cover almost any type of training situation, and I think that's what I love most about it. It is surprisingly lightweight and super comfortable, and it balances durability really well with the square knit upper and the carbon rubber outsole. Over the last 50 Ks, I really haven't found anything that I don't like about the Float Ride Energy 3. Nearly everything that I said in my initial review has held up now, the only difference being that I've enjoyed it in more and more different scenarios. It's light, it's comfortable, it's responsive, and it's well cushioned. There really isn't anything that I think this shoe couldn't do. The only thing that you might be able to nitpick on is that its styling is a touch daggy, but in an age where the dad sneaker is super fashionable, I think this has its place. Now, I've taken two examples of shoes that I've bought relatively cheaply that are excellent for running, but the reality is that this is really easy to do. You can always access cheap running shoes that are good. The easiest way to do so is by getting last year's model when this year's model is released. An example was last year when the Hoka only Bondi 7 was released. Now, I didn't purchase that shoe, but I did own the Bondi 6. The Bondi 6 was discounted and was essentially the same shoe with very minor updates to the upper. The truth is that these manufacturers cannot possibly have a major update to a running shoe year in, year out. Typically this happens every 2 years, and I appreciate that sometimes a minor update can create a significant difference to the ride. Pegasus 38, Infinity React 2. But it's not always going to happen. My recommendation is to always check out the last year's model. You're probably going to get mostly the same shoe, and unless there is something really specific in the current model that you want, like a colorway or some particular tech feature, maybe consider the old model. Also, take a look at less hyped models. You'll find that the Reeboks and Skechers, well, the Skechers to a lesser extent, but the Reebok is really not a hyped running shoe, and I think that's why it has such a low retail price and it's discounted pretty often. But that doesn't take away from it being a great running shoe. Most retailers these days offer free returns, so you've really got nothing to lose. Have a go at some of these lesser hyped running shoes, try them on, and if you don't like them, return them. I'm sure that's within what you can do. Anyway, I'm interested in your thoughts out there. Do you often wait for new models to be released so you can buy the last year's model? Or do you fall into the camp of never wanting to buy an old model? Leave the comments down below, but until the next video, laters.